And we're back. Pulling for Rivera. So far we are about 70 tickets in with one rainbow. And of course the one guaranteed rainbow. So let's see if we can get lucky. I think Rivera is a very interesting unit. You know, just like Illusionist Nicole, but much better. Being able to give somebody the AoE cover and provoke is really, really interesting. Especially if like a tank person goes down and they need to be revived, they can get that tanking ability back on that same turn. She has some utility as well. She can also give people LB damage. LB damage increases. I think she'll work really well with Sylvie, or not Sylvie, Esther, to be honest with you. Because Esther is tanky. Esther can take some damage. And so being able to take that damage, but also get a little bit of boost to her LB damage is really, really nice. So actually, if I get her, that's what I want to see. I want to test how well Esther can just straight up tank damage. Because I think naturally she sits around 14 to 16k. So there's the one in the step up. So that's kind of disappointing I didn't get more. But Esther gets like 14 to 16. I've seen some people get the HP parameter mission with Esther. Really high defense and spirit. So naturally she's really, really tanky. And so I think giving that mitigation would be really nice, especially on a provoke. Would be really, really nice. Of course, there'll be trials that you need a straight up tanker, but for some of the things that get thrown at us every now and again, it'd just be a neat unit to have. I was gonna pull for Elena because she's just straight up overpowered, but to be honest with you, DPS comes every single week in global. It's kind of absurd. You know, I got Esther, and then like immediately after, Axlar and Xeno come out, and like right away Esther's dethroned, and then what are we, like 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, a new one. So like there's never going to be a shortage of DPS in global ever, and you don't need to be, I don't think we need to be baited honestly into pulling for DPS. Support and healers and tanks are way more valuable. Like Sylvie, I went and manufactured a Sylvie from this anniversary event, pulling on those special banners that give the summon coins. Was able to get her Prism, the new OC'd one, and she is just a quality of life game changer in this game. She can do everything. She's timeless, really. I mean, her LB given 70% AoE, elemental resistance. I mean, until the point where the game comes where you need to be buffed with more than, like, say, 100% resistance at any time. You know, maybe they'll release units that buff by like 150% or 200%. Until that time, Sylvie's gonna stand the test of time. But I got Esther from the Esther banner, and she's already dropping off. I mean, she's still really good. But take Chaotic Darkness, for example, the new trial. Tried doing it with Esther, and I get all the way down to like 3%. Wouldn't quite get the finish, and you know there's some mechanics there with that boss that I haven't figured out yet. But I couldn't beat it with Esther. I had to go in with my Regina, you know, somebody with a little more muscle to get it done. But then, you know, straight up, oh look at this, we get a rainbow. Could it be? That's not good. Second Vincent. I wonder if his enhancements are good. Anyways, so yeah. Some units stand the test of time, some units don't. I mean, Esther is still really, really good, obviously. But DPS the power creep is real. I mean, they just fall off, and they're no more. I mean, there was a time when, you all know this, Orlando was like the only unit to have. You know, Onion Knight comes out, you know, and then you get the later units that start to dethrone them, and then the 7-star meta comes, and then the 7-star, ever since 7-star, everything has just gone absolute ballistic. So, yeah, like I'm not so worried about pulling DPS. They're always going to be there. They're a dime a dozen, you know, and especially since they release new units that can chain with the best units, it's not the end of the world, but support units are so valuable. You know, so for me, honestly, Sylvie is probably, she's probably my best unit. If not the best unit in the game, she's certainly my best unit in the game. There's nobody that I have on my team. She's first on my team. I mean, CG Charlotte's great with the 50% damage mitigation, but you still need to have a boss that is dealing some serious magic damage that you're going to need somebody to cover that. You know, there are trials that we're not going to need the magical cover. So, you know, Charlotte is amazing when she's needed, but basically, I haven't found a trial yet where Sylvie's not needed. Plus, she can imbue your units with three different elements, so you don't even need to bring elemental weapons. Just bring your strongest weapons, get imbued on the fly. Yeah. Anyway, so Sylvie I was able to get her from the anniversary, so I'm more than thrilled with what's happened in the anniversary. But I would still like to get this Rivera, just for testing, just for fun. Because truthfully, it wasn't that long ago, a couple months ago, there was a fight that I decided, let me try out I Nicole again, see how that goes. Because if you can get into a fight where you're taking 0 damage, you know, if you got all the elemental resistance on your equipment, and your tanker is, say, full of aid, well, why not take someone like I Nicole? Why not? Why not take someone like Rivera? Someone fun, you know, instead of having the same old, same old. Plus, you with the Chamber of the Vengeful, having to use 25 different units. What a great move, by the way. I know you'll never watch this video, but great move, causing us to use all the old units, going back, using all the. I use Chloe for a bunch of stuff. Chloe's actually a really strong unit. If you can get the right pattern, like I said, where you're not taking much damage at all, she's got a lot of support. And she just worked out really good. But finding some of those old, you know, Santa Rosalia, finding some of that counter healing, finding some of those old units that, you know, really shine, that's where this game is headed in the right direction. That's where it's trending good. You don't feel like the power creep isn't so hurtful anymore, because now you actually get to put to use, you know, you're forced to put to use, say, Titus. Say you got to use Titus, and yes, it's pronounced Titus, not Titus. Say you got to put some of this old DPS to work, because, you know, you got to fill those slots. That's awesome. I love it. I love an excuse to use my Titus again. I can't wait for the Final Fantasy X series boss battle. That'll be so fun. New subscriber. Honestly, that's probably the best part about this video for me, is that I got a new subscriber. I don't get any rainbows, but spoiler alert, I think I get one more rainbow in the whole thing. I thought today would be a good day to pull, but sadly, it's pretty miserable. But again, that's the way the game goes, right? A couple units that I'd really like, a second Summer Fid, or Summer, whatever it is, Lid and Fina. That'd be nice. I'd love to have her at 7-star. Myra, I've been using 6-star Myra as my healer for a lot of stuff, because she is so good. Like with the global change, giving her dual cast at 6-star. I was thinking about seeing her when she was 7-star, but then they just gave me a gift, and I'm sure her 7-star kit is infinitely better, but her 6-star kit is really good, and it's been enough for me, honestly. As a healer, it's been enough. Plus she can, you know, remove break and add break resistance. She can buff you up. She's just an amazing unit. I do have one Zeno. I'd like to get a second Zeno, just to see what all the hype is about. I've been riding, you know, using my Esther for a long time. She's basically, well, now that I got Regina, I did UOC a Regina because I wanted to try some things out. I wanted to see, one of my goals for a long time had been, can anybody beat the Rumble of Marlborough on turn 1? When it still has its massive defense, when it's still got the 2 little adds, is there a way to actually beat it on turn 1? Because that seems like the way Global has always been, hasn't it? You know, we release new units, and the first thing everyone wants to see is how powerful is the unit. Which bosses can it one-shot? You know, which bosses can you go in there and beat it on turn 1? And so, for like a year or so, I've been trying to figure out and trying to use different units that could beat Marlborough on turn 1 Not turn 2, right? Because turn 2, who cares? It softens its skin, it's got really low defense and spirit. Turn 2, so many units can do it, but it has to be on turn 1. Even units that can, if you decide not to take out the 2 little adds, even if you wait till turn 2 and buff yourself up and do all those things to try to beat it through its, you know, high defenses, that's still not even that impressive. Because a lot of units, well, not a lot of units, but there are units now that can do that. I wanted to see if it could be done on turn 1. Is there a setup? Is there a unit? Can it be done? And so that's simply the reason why I, oh, what do we got here? Anything? No. That's the reason why I UOC'd Regina. I wanted to know, can she beat the Rumble of Marlborough on turn 1? Can it be done? Because I couldn't find a video anywhere. Nobody had a video. And so I wanted to see if it could be done. And sure enough, she just was able to pull it off, just barely. And so I was more than thrilled with her power, what she's able to do on just a straight up first turn damage dealt. And so if you want to see that video, that is also on my YouTube page. It's a short video, but it is, honestly, if you want to test your unit strength, that's the battle to go in. It's not Scorn of Gilgamesh, you know, it's not Lich, it's not Chaotic Darkness, it's Rumble of Marlborough, turn 1. Go in there, and what can you do on turn 1? Maybe it's Chaotic Darkness. Chaotic Darkness is pretty strong. But up until then, it's been Rumble of Marlborough on turn 1 through 20,000 defense and spirit. What can you do through 20,000 defense and spirit? Not mitigation, just straight up defense and spirit. And so Regina on turn 1 is just unmatched. So these pulls are dreadful if you've been paying attention. Like really bad. The worst part about pulling and not getting any rainbows is the fact that I have to go into my inventory and sort through all this mess. Just an assortment of units that really nobody needs. I mean, the trust coin system is okay, I suppose. I was able to get Victor. And even Victor, I honestly, I like Victor. Victor's a good dude. Chains with Esther. He's got a really high defense. It's, you know, he's fun to play around with. So I went and got him. He was really the only one that was at all useful for me. I think that's my 5th cade, and that's it. 50 some tickets, 25 EX tickets, a 10 plus 1 premium ticket, 3 5 plus 1 tickets, the entire Rivera step up, this one here. All told, I think it's somewhere around 130 tickets. And the only rainbows that I got the one guaranteed from the guaranteed summon, I got the one guaranteed Rivera from the end of the step up, and with the remaining 130 tickets or 130 pulls, I got 2 rainbows. So, I mean, we can judge for ourselves. But that's pretty bad luck. Pretty bad luck. I was expecting better. I was hoping for better. But that's the way she goes. Anyways, see you guys later.